will call the work session to order. Roll call, please.
Brown.
Here.
Calhoun.
Here.
Fournier. Crop.
Here.
McGarity.
Here.
Rick.
Here.
York.
Here.
Okay, this is the portion of the work session where we invite the public to address the commission. All that we ask is that you come to the microphone, give us your full name, your residential address, and you abide by our 3-minute rule. If you would like to address the commission, come on up. All right, seeing no mad dash, we will move on to city business with a discussion on zoning ordinance section 9.3 fences and screening walls. I'll hand it over to you, Mr. Shipman.
Well, I know we had discussed this issue on more than one occasion, and where we left it was the commission had directed the city attorney, the community development director, to collaborate with our ordinance enforcement team and come back with some recommendations. So they have done that, and the only reason we're getting to it this late is because we've had so many other things come up that I felt were of greater importance that just kind of got pushed to the back burner a little bit. So here we are tonight, and I know we're going to come up with an answer, aren't we, Brian?
Yes, we are.
See?
So the new language.
Brian, will you go to the mic though so that the camera can get you?
So the new language that you see is the part that's red, underlined. The primary change is to subsection 5. And again, this is where a fence or a hedge is coming into proximity where a sidewalk and a driveway meet. Currently, the regulation states that anytime a fence or a hedge is within that point and then 15 feet back, it needs to drop down to 3 feet. We're basically keeping that same regulation, except that point now is just where that sidewalk and driveway meet back 3 feet, and then that only needs to drop to 3.5 feet high. So the concept is still the same. It's just a lot less onerous on homeowners while still maintaining some visibility for safety issues. The other changes you see in red in the other subsections, those are just things we've added just for some clarification purposes. They don't change any regulations. It's just that subsection 5 is the one that the commission has been reviewing over the last couple of months. From a procedural standpoint, because this is a zoning ordinance, this does need to go to the planning commission. The planning commission needs to review it. They need to conduct a public hearing, give a recommendation, and then it would come to the city commission for approval. So that's on the procedural end of it. But we think this kind of keeps the same regulation in place, but it's much less onerous on property owners, on homeowners in terms of that regulation. So that's what we came up with. And Rob and I did kind of go back and forth a little bit. So I think Rob is okay with it.
I'll wait to hear from them before I comment whether or not I'm okay with it.
But I'll be happy to try to answer any questions the commission has.
Well, we kind of left off before where we were trying to find a compromise for the car that's backing down the driveway, and that it wouldn't you wouldn't be obstructed from somebody on the sidewalk or the road. As we looked at it, even I think we might even looked at some aerials of some situations where, as it is now, the rule requires this height restriction to go 15 feet from the intersection of the driveway and the sidewalk. So we're trying not to make it as burdensome because people do have decorative, shrubs or different ways to delineate their property line from their neighbors. So just as you guys, we kept some notes here of some of the comments that you had, and we think that this paragraph here in red captures the intent of the commission on that. Knowing full well that there'll be some odd situations that may not exactly fit, but we'll just have to use our discretion that we're granted to determine how to handle those.
Okay. Anybody have any thoughts? I know we've had a lot of thoughts on this.
And the other thing, I know it was kind of mentioned, well, let's just completely do away with the regulation, period. And in thinking about that, while it would be easier on my end in terms of an enforcement issue, not having to enforce something, I do think there is some rationale for safety reasons to have this in place. So.
do have a question with regards to, you mentioned discretion and such, so how is that discretion applied? Who gets to decide? What is the process for applying discretion over enforcement?
Well,
Because I could see that being a bit of a landmine.
Yeah.
You think?
So, if there's a situation with a lot or, I talked to a lawyer today that has a sidewalk that's gonna be abandoned and he lives in Mount Clemens. So someone like that, maybe the right way to interpret it would be not to measure 42 inches from the sidewalk, but I'm sorry, is that 42 inches? Yeah. But from the street, because his sidewalk's being abandoned, it's the only one on the street. So you say, what's the process for that? Well, there is, human beings here and here that are involved with determining how to enforce ordinances. And what our Macomb Circuit Court has said, that even in a situation where a neighbor says, you're not enforcing an ordinance the way I see it, our courts here have said, you can't force a municipality to apply something that it has the discretion to know in its good judgment whether or not it should be enforced. So we are trusted with overseeing common sense application to things. So if there's something odd, we would apply common sense.
Coming from a military background, that assumption is not there, so that's why I'm asking, because we're not allowed to assume the application of such. So that would also address like some of the houses where the garage actually goes out to a back alley and basically immediately abuts the alley.
Right.
So
So there's a situation, exactly, that violates the ordinance because it's, that's higher than it should be, but an application of those circumstances would not make sense. Did you mention, I think that goes to Planning Commission. Typically, then would the Planning Commission publish ahead of time and then invite comment too?
Right, there will be a public hearing at the
Yeah.
planning commission.
And
The ordinance change is published.
the proposed ordinance change is given to the public so they have opportunity to present feedback on it.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if I've had that situation yet. Then Greg, after it goes to planning commission, probably would come back here, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so the commission will have opportunity to hear what type of feedback there was from the community regarding this language, and then you make the final decision as to whether or not you're comfortable with it, and it could be amended again.
Yes, Commissioner Gillen.
That ordinance change has to be put in the newspaper.
That's usually the means that we use for publishing it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they do Macomb Daily. Yeah.
Daily, and then we send it to Unicode, so they update it online.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Well,
Good job, Brian.
thank you, Brian. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you, Rob. Thanks for all the rounds of editing. We appreciate it. All right. Well, this is the opportunity if the commission has any other what we consider city business or just some questions or some discussion, any kind of discussion that they want to bring up, we can, and if not, we'll adjourn our work session.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Is there any type of ribbon cutting or grand opening or anything planned for the city when the construction is complete?
We were talking about possibly just doing a ribbon cutting when we open Macomb Place, but we're definitely going to have a celebration in the spring when the project's complete. So we might do two different things.
I think the idea is to ribbon cut and have somebody be the first person to drive down Macomb Place. That'd be kind of fun. And then
Golf cart?
Possibly.
maybe
Did that take effect yet?
maybe it could be paddles then. No. Yeah, but maybe he could be a passenger. Or they. I don't think Paddles has a he or she designation, right?
Not that I know of.
I don't think so either. So, yeah, so yes?
And so that ribbon cutting would allow us to sort of market it or
For sure, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, for sure.
invite?
I think that especially the inviting like a grander, well, definitely in the spring, right, with all the cool stuff and
Yeah.
installed and
I know
stuff.
people will be, people have been really great about visiting downtown. I feel like I've been there every day for the last 2 weeks, and it's a lot, people are really trying to show their support. And I'm thinking for the holidays, people
Yeah,
maybe having get-togethers or group events, and just wondering, will they know what's going on or whether we've cut the ribbon yet, or I'm not sure. Do we have a date?
well, we're definitely,
I mean, if I give you a date that it could happen, then everybody holds me to it, and then when it doesn't happen, then everybody yells at me.
I just
but-
thought you might have one in mind, but
Yeah,
I
we-
can
I mean, we have
understand why
the-
you
I
don't.
mean, so really what it's got to do is they've got to pour some concrete. And then you've got to get through cure time on the concrete. So it depends on when that's poured. And then you're looking at roughly 5 to 10 days for cure time. It just depends. They're called concrete breaks. They take samples, they test it, they let us know when it's ready. So it's all depend on a company called G2 that does that testing for us. So
so we'll have a week probably of when we should know, so we
yeah,
can then.
so we're just
really
kind
hit
of
it
waiting for
heavily.
that to be poured, and then we'll have a rough idea. So it's going to be probably have a week's notice.
But we
I
are still
mean-
having tree lighting Monday. I mean, Friday. Yeah, thank you. Yes. we
And
are
then
having
the
Friday.
other consideration is we're going to open it as soon as we can, but then when the fixtures come in for the streetlights, we may shut it down just to go in and get all the streetlights up. So we may shut it down for a day, possibly two. They still have to pull the wire, and they'll put in those streetlights. So.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? All right. Well, then would anyone like to add a commissioner comment? All right.
Just that the air conditioning's on.
Okay, we'll adjust.
Bobby's air conditioning on again. Yeah.
All right. We'll get it fixed. All right. Well, then, seeing no further discussion needed for the work session, I can entertain a motion to adjourn the work
Move to
session.
adjourn the work session?
And support.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, well, adjourn the work session.